Welcome to this episode of Did She Really Say That? We're having a conversation with Donna today around speaking. Ladies, if you're looking to grow your presence, your awareness, your brand, you actually have to start freaking using your voice, right? Donna's like, yeah,
Ab-
huh? Yeah, if you don't have a voice, I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know if you're hiding out or being scared, but like we're gonna really bust through a lot of this. And only because I know Donna and some of her background, we share some similar languaging in our world together. So I'm like, this is gonna be a brutally honest, fun, and entertaining conversation. So stay tuned for this. So who is Donna? You're gonna want to know this. So she's a naturally an introvert. So I wanted to ask, is there an unnatural introvert? Just wanted to know.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. So you're just a naturally an introvert. She was once terrified of people. Like she couldn't even look someone in the eye or even talk to them at the same time. So, eye contact, no. Speaking, no. So, okay, great. Now you're a public speaker. So now we know what you couldn't do. She likes to say it was divine intervention that led her to speak because there was no earthly reason ever for her to take a stage and put herself in that kind of an awkward, uncomfortable, terrifying situation. Like, who wants to do that, ladies? Seriously? But there's some magic on the other side of this, right? She's dealt with and overcome her fear and become a seminar leader for one of the top personal growth and development companies in the world. I will tell you, that takes something. I know what she went through. God bless her. Because, man, that is some work. All right. She's a trained NLP practitioner, which is a neuro linguistic programming. So words are important, ladies. The words you use, super, super important. She's a 13-year veteran of Toastmasters. Whew. If you guys don't know what Toastmasters is, you absolutely need to get into it especially for public speaking. She has been known as she has earned the highest award of a distinguished Toastmasters. Hats off to you, Donna. Ooh, look at you. She's doing good. Like you didn't see that, but she did the whole little cutesy thing. She's an active member of the National Speaker Association, which we just were talking about before we jumped onto this podcast live episode. She's a best-selling author of Public Speaking for Entrepreneurs: How to Show Up, Speak Up, and Get What You Want for Your Business and Your Life. Boom. So she's been doing this for over 30 years. That's enough accolades. We really know that at this point, Donna, you're like the bomb diggity. Welcome.
Thank you.
So this terrifying journey of not being able to look somebody in the eye to now taking and being on this journey of public speaking, share that with us. I'm curious.
My goodness. Well, it started in my original career where I was a hairdresser, as you mentioned.
Mm,
And I had this strong desire to teach. And somehow my little brain did not put teaching and public speaking together in the same experience because I went to beauty school, not college or somewhere I might have encountered speaking or debate club or anything like that. And then an opportunity came up at my salon, which we were a world known salon in the fashion and beauty field at the time. And we were doing a big 2-day hair show.
mm,
And this opportunity, I'm like, oh, here's an opportunity to teach. Okay, good. I'll be on stage and I'll get to, do a haircut and demonstrate some of the things I've learned. It'll be great. And at the time, we were known around the world. Like every major fashion magazine, famous, rock stars came in, supermodels came in, and so very high profile. And then I
right.
found myself on stage with the two owners of the salon, and very also, high profile, big names in the industry at the time. And I had asked a few people that I work with, like, what do I say? The people who did this sort of thing, what do I say? Like, I don't know what to do. I never did this. Like, oh, you just talk about what you're doing while you're doing it. So then my turn comes and I get introduced and I'm just completely terrified and freaked out. And I mumble a couple things and the people in the front row start calling out, we can't hear, we can't hear. So the owner, he like, amazing man, gently takes the microphone from me. He says, I'll speak for her. She has a soft voice. And so he did. He like did the haircut, he did the talking, and there's more to this story, but that's enough for now. But I was not okay with that because I still had something I really wanted to give, and I needed to figure out how to do it because I wasn't okay that I was so terrified I went mute. So that was the beginning.
Yeah. And I think there's something in there. It's like when you find yourself going mute, you do have this internal voice that's screaming, I have something more to say. And at the same time, you're terrified to say it. And I think that resonates with a lot of the audience, a lot of women that listens, because I think we're all in that situation at some point in our career, in our lives, in our opportunities, is that we get into this place. It's like, I really have something to say, and I'm silent in this. So you evolved that, so you know that you have something to say. So how did you break through and transition, Donna? This sense of, now I have speaker, I am scared to be on stage. How do you overcome that?
Well, I think training is huge, right?
Okay.
There
So
are no
where do you go
natural
get
born.
training?
There are no natural born that, like great, like the great late Dale Carnegie, who is known for speaking. He said great speakers are not born; they are most definitely trained, right? And so something else, I actually left that salon, went to another salon situation because they sent people out to train, and I hadn't done anything in between though. So they send me out on the road. Same thing happens again. They did not
Oof.
invite me to go on the road again after that. But that's when it went ding, ding, ding. I need to go learn. So I started with joining Toastmasters.
Okay.
So that's where you can learn and get the practice and feedback, honest feedback from the other members. So,
So
and that's what I started with.
so
Mhm.
did you start Toastmasters before you did seminar leadership?
Way before.
Way before. So you had been like investing in Toastmasters, and tell us a little bit about Toastmasters. I know this is not like a Toastmaster selling type of a thing, but for those that don't know what it is, why is it important to kind of get into the Toastmasters club from your perspective?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about Toastmasters is actually the name of it is Toastmasters Communication and Leadership. It's not Toastmasters public speaking clubs, but that's
What?
what, yeah. Mhm. Yep.
Okay, I learned something new. Thanks, Donna. I just got
Yeah.
trained.
But the vehicle is the clubs. So there are clubs that meet anywhere from like once a week to once a month. And they meet anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours, and every club is different. And I would say if you check out one that you can go to consistently, participate fully, and make sure that you are doing the program, because there's actually a program. There's a method to the madness. So that's huge, right? And just participate.
So with Toast, and I don't know much because I've heard of it. I've actually spoken at one of their events, but actually never participated in it. So that's on me. But there is actually a program to run through with them. That's good to know, because it always felt like you're just kind of going into the club, and I didn't understand that there was kind of like a format in which you do, because I know they invite guests, they have you come listen, you get to kind of hear as others present. So that's definitely an interesting piece to learn.
And all of the clubs,
Mhm.
let's say I recommend finding a few that fit your schedule. Again, ones you can go to consistently, and they're like a family.
Mm.
Everyone's a little different. The culture of everyone is a little different. Some of them are going to do it. There's like a way to do it, right? Some of them will do it that way. Others, maybe not so much. A little loosey goosey. I
Okay.
don't recommend those clubs because they are very inconsistent, and you may not get what you want there.
Okay. So this leads me to this question, because I know when we first met and had our initial conversation, I asked about the red stiletto behind you,
Mhm.
because your entire website is this red stiletto. So you are now transforming from speaker, hair salon, and now you're getting into a red stiletto. So tell me about how you came up with this as your business and brand. I'm super curious.
Well, I mean, it's probably like in my genes because I was in the fashion and beauty business in New York City, right? So I just always love that. That's like in me, right? And I love shoes.
Ooh.
And there's not a direct thing. It happened, I was like, I'm done doing hair. I can't do the seminar leader training anything because it's super long days and 6 days a week. And I got nothing else. And I already knew I wanted to help people with their speaking because that's what I had struggled with for so long and really
Mm.
on the other side. And I know that, no one's ever died from public speaking, first of all. And second, that it can be learned, right? Because clearly I learned it. And I was talking with a coach friend one day, talking about like, oh, what's next? What are we going to do? And I told him what I just said about wanting to help mostly women, really starting with women because I'm a woman and I can relate to that world of people. And it just came to me, red stiletto, get to the point. I'm going to help people with their public speaking, women with their public speaking. And I'm going to go to go to networking events and wear my red heels. And people will know me. Like now I've had it long enough that happens. Somebody will come over and go, "Oh, I saw you from behind. I saw the shoes. I knew that was you." And I will tell you, while that works for visibility, it's not a business plan.
It's not. Stilettos, as much as I love them, walking around them in them 24/7 is not a business plan, but they are freaking adorable and amazing. So yes.
Yeah, so that's how it started. And it wasn't time at that time, but it never left me. And so several years later, when I went, yep, now is the time to get out from behind that chair and get out in front of the people, that was what there was to do.
So you're focusing on women and teaching them to speak. Why women? Like, what have you learned between maybe the difference between men and women in terms of speaking? Are we softer in voice? Or are we not owning our voice on stage? What has you kind of led to supporting and really wanting to work with women on their public speaking?
Well, the short, easy answer is yes, yes, and yes,
Okay,
right?
good.
So women, they get a little squirrely, right? They get a little squirrely, and I think some hide behind being a mom. I'm a,
Mm,
even though hello, public speaking will advance your career, but they feel more uncertain for who
mm.
knows what reason. They just do. If you just look, like here's just a simple example outside the world of speaking, like a job interview. A man is like half of those things I'm going to apply. Women go, okay, I only have 90%. I don't think I should. Right? It's like that,
So
right?
true.
Men are much more, for whatever reason, the way they're brought up, the culture, the type of
Mm,
human they are, I'm not sure, but they're just much more likely. Not like I haven't met nervous men. I certainly
right.
have. But they're much more likely to just be willing to just jump up and do it, say it, go for it. And women are not. And yes, they
Mm.
do speak more softly. Yes, they are more uncertain. They're unclear about their message. I've met a lot of women who have, like, to me, like, them so clear. They have something so powerful to share, right? And so valuable for the world, and they don't think it is.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too. Is I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I have something to say. Why would somebody want to listen to me? I hear that a lot from women. I even met like a three-star general, first female 3-star general in the military, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'd write a book. I'm not sure I really have something to say. It's just what I did. It's just what I did." Like we don't own anything. It's just like there's like this expectation that's just what we do as women. Like, why would I write a book? Why would I take the stage around it? Like, yeah, if you guys are missing, Donna's missing her, shaking her head like, yes. So share some of your thoughts around that. Mm.
Which part of that?
So just around what has us kind of not step up into that? What are you like, and when you're working with women, what is it that, if we're not stepping up into that, if we're not owning our voice, how do you work with us to own that?
Well, I think what I do is, and I'm sure different people do it different ways, but what I do first is just have them talk about what they're passionate about and
Mm,
just have them get really in touch with it. I think a lot of times what happens is they get out of touch with it. Like they know they are, and in some cases, like, oh, that's just who I am. No, yeah, yes, it is just who you are, but no, don't invalidate that because there is no other you, right? It is who you are. And they get in their heads about it is a huge one instead of being connected to their experience and their
mm,
heart about it and their feeling about it and what's important to them about it. They're too close to it sometimes, or other times they're just too in their heads about it, and not really like connected inside themselves with
mm.
what the meaning of it for them.
Do you work with them through their story, like what they're going to say and how they're going to present on stage? Like I know that some of your background deals with like tearing apart stories and redefining or recrafting your story. So do you use some of that, I guess, technology and such as you work with women in crafting their story,
Yeah,
crafting their speech?
absolutely. Absolutely. If I'm working with, even if I'm not working with entrepreneurs, stories are so important because they bring anything you're saying to life. Because ultimately, we're all human and we share human experience. Like the way my version of it is going to look different than your version of it, but the human experience of it will be the same, right? Will be a similar feeling. And that's what people relate to. So I always, if I'm working with women entrepreneurs, I always start with, we tell their story. And if they're an entrepreneur who has come from, their business has come from their experience, then they need to tell that story. And that's because that's the connection that people have. Like, oh, you've been there. Okay, yes, I can trust you. Oh, you were afraid of speaking and I'm afraid of speaking. Now you're not. So yes, I can trust you, right? Kind of like that. And it's like that for everything. People know you've been there. They know you can help them at, the very least you get it.
Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing when you start being a speaker and you're taking the stage is that relatability and that ability to connect to that audience. So you really want to develop that story, looking back at your experiences, your skill set. And so here's a question I do have. Sometimes, and I've been part of different speaker groups, and I feel like some speakers go back really far into their childhood to pull something forward to something that may be happening in their workplace. Like I feel like we go back a little too far. Is there something about going too far back into your story, something that may be a little bit closerly that happened maybe in your teens, 20s, earlier? Is there kind of like a good point, like a good time frame to she's shaking her head, yes.
Yes,
So what would that look
absolutely.
like?
Yeah, I don't dig around in people's past, right? Like
Okay.
I don't honestly, like you're saying to your point, I don't think people are really that interested or really care unless it's relevant to what you do now.
Okay.
So usually I don't know if I've ever really had that to go back very far. I go back far enough to show the transition, like how they got from where they were to what they're doing now and why people should trust them as, somebody that can help them.
Yeah, and I think that's what you says, the transition. What did you go through yourself? Where were you before? What caused the transition? Where did you start to shift? What might have changed that? And then what did you come out of it afterwards? So we sometimes we call that the hero's journey. I hear for women it's called the heroine journey. Like I really do like when we bring in the female side of that part of it. But I think that's a big piece when you're looking at, you know, why do I take the stage? Okay, then that leads to the question, why is public speaking one of the most feared things that we take on? If you're talking about storytelling and just relating to our life, why is speaking why is it the number one fear?
I think it still is, arguably, but I think it still is. And 75% of people do have some version of that fear, and that's equal amongst men and women. So I have my theories about it.
Let's hear,
So
can I hear your theories? Are you allowed to share theories?
I made them up, so of course you can.
Okay, then I want to hear your made up theories about why this is so. I'm super curious.
And it's also based on observation of myself and others,
Okay.
right? I don't know if I told you this, but I'm also trained as an energy healer. So just to bring a little woo woo in there,
Ah, I like it.
so
Okay.
there is an energetic element to a speaker, and the energy that you need is your own, right? You need to be connected to your own energy, and that's what gives people power and presence. And so
Mm,
there's two main things that I see and observed, and I even in myself that has people be afraid. One is they're not connected to themselves and their own energy and their own life force and their own beingness, if you will,
I
right?
could see
They're
that.
just disconnected and they're up in their heads about it and they're not down in their body about it. And the other one is, so that will have people be afraid for sure. And then the other one is they're not prepared. They're either not prepared or insufficiently prepared, and they think they are, and they're not. And you can't get up there and wing it. Your audience knows. Unless you're with your family at Thanksgiving, your audience knows and they feel disrespected. Like, oh, she didn't even bother to prepare. Like she's just kind of just talking, just stream of consciousness coming out. Like that's just not interesting for anyone. You have to prepare. It has to be organized. It has to be structured, easy to follow, and you have to be connected in your own self. And if people don't have either one or both of those, they're going to be nervous.
I can see that, which leads to the question around, like you said, you need to have a format, a way of communicating, which is clarity. So why is clarity and really knowing and understand what you're presenting? And I guess you even want like an outcome of your conversation. So why is that such a big piece, that clarity piece?
Well, because people are listening, right? They're watching usually and listening to you, and they need to be able to follow along. They
Okay.
don't have your line in front of you, in front of them, right? They don't have notes. And even the slides, should be mostly pictures, right? You should never put a sea of words on your slides, ever,
I've
ever.
seen that. I told a speaker that one time. It was literally a whole thing. It was like a breakdown of their entire somatical thinking process. I got so caught up in the tiny print and everything else. I think I lost ten minutes of her or 5 minutes of her presentation. I was completely zoned out because I wasn't even aware she was on the stage.
That's right. And because that's what happens. People are reading the slides instead of listening to you. In that case,
Mm,
why bother getting up in front of people? Because just send them your slides or just send them to your website. Don't even bother saying anything. What makes it interesting is the person
right.
and their view and what they have to say, their delivery and their engagement. That's a huge one too. I think things are also transitioning towards less just talking and more engagement as
So
well.
talk to me about that one, because I know like we've before in the world of speaking when I was growing up, it was all motivational speaking. So it literally was somebody talking at you. It was like you need to do this and this helps you get up. Like it was this super, now you're talking engagement. So how do you create that engagement?
Yeah. Well, let me just ask you something about what you just said. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Tell me one person that was the motivational speaker you saw that you remember what they said and implemented it and it made a difference.
No, no, not a single
No,
one.
right? Nobody. Exactly. I mean, I've seen those people too. Like it's all
The
great in the
Jack
rah rah.
Canfields, the Les Brown. Like I'll throw out names because I have
Big
seen them.
names.
Like
Yeah.
Tony Robbins. I've seen all these guys do these
Yeah.
great motivational speakers. I've seen Sharon Stone or what is her name? Anyways, I've heard of other people that have gone through and they've said great things. Yay, felt good, walk away with nothing, nothing.
It's like that rah rah, and it's that moment of high, which is nice for that moment. But really, like most speakers, there are some speakers that have the ego enough where that's like, I just want to say my thing and have people get it. But I think ultimately now being around the speaker community, and we've actually talked about this, they mostly want to make a difference. They
Mm,
impact people positively, and rah rah isn't going to do it.
yeah.
Not long term, not
No.
beyond that hour.
So how do you engage your audience? Like what are some tips around engaging your audience? Because here's what I'll tell you for those that are listening on this podcast, what she's telling you, what she might share with you, not only is effective as a speaker, but even in your social media posts and things like that. If you're doing live videos, these are some of the things that I know that you can that can help you too. But so how do you create engagement as a speaker in front of a large audience kind of a thing? Like what do you mean by engagement, I guess? Like yelling back at you, raising their hands?
Yeah, yeah, like that. So,
That just
so if
sounds
you're,
too simple.
it really is. It's like, hello, there's a person in front of you. You cannot hide behind a screen and create engagement. Well, actually, that's not true. On social media, we'll come back to the in-person part.
Okay.
Social media, you can do that, right? You're in the privacy of your own computer and you can write your stuff, and engagement there would look like asking questions and responding, right? And having literally an online conversation, right? That's what engagement would look like there,
Okay.
right? Videos also,
Okay.
social media, again, with questions, reactions, responding back and forth, right?
Okay.
That's so in person, it's the same thing. You're asking questions, you're getting responses from the audience. What you do have to be alert to in person, though, is have some idea, a very good idea of what kinds of things people might say, and be prepared
Mm.
if they say something else, right? So you got to be a little more on your toes, think on your feet when you're speaking in person. Come down into audience, but not too far, because you don't want like, a whole bunch of people now looking at the back of you, right? So if you come down, go back, stay mostly in the front. And here's a big one: eye contact. Eye contact. You
Mm.
can only see, say you have a big auditorium, a big conference thing, and you can only see, like the first row. Maybe you can't see any because of the light, but that's a huge, and I don't think that's who we're talking to right here, right? That's a
Right.
huge thing right there. That's its own world, right? But you find people that you can see, and if you've got the big thing and all you have are stage lights, then you try to, kind of where they are, and you kind of pretend you're looking at them. But eye
Yes.
contact is huge, and I'm not talking about looking at the top of their
You
eyebrows,
actually
like,
mean talking like into their eyeballs?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So not the bridge of their nose, not their hairline, not something that's not their eyeballs, because people know. They
Mm.
know not when you're not looking at them. The people are not that dumb, right? And here's another thing that about eye contact, and this is probably the biggest thing of all of it, is that eye contact creates connection, right? Yes, with that person, if it's a large group, you're not going to get to everybody. Just find somebody, talk to them for 3 to 5 seconds, a sentence or two, a thought. Don't stick with them too long because that would be weird. And don't
Don't
But
make it awkward.
don't
Okay.
make it awkward. Awkward for them or the audience. They go to different people, and then the person you're talking to will feel that. Like, talk to that
Mm,
person. You
yeah,
can't talk to like the whole as if they're one. You've got to talk to the one as if they're the whole, right?
I
Talk to
love
that
that.
person,
Yeah.
and the room will feel it because we are all connected.
Mm,
And you have to do anything you can do to create connection, because that's where people get you. They get what you have to say. They feel like you care about them. They feel like they matter, and they feel importance in what you're saying. And so
got
that
it.
could look like handouts, worksheets. You
Mm,
can change it up all the time. That's something a lot of people say. Change it up every 7 minutes. Change it up.
give him
Engage
something.
with people. Ask them questions. Have them participate.
Mm. So I'm going to change the conversation a little bit here. So you have gone from consulting speaking, you're running your own business. What's it been like for you? Like, what are some of the challenges you've come up against as a business owner, creating a business around teaching speaking?
Technology.
Tell me
No,
more.
I know everything I did before is that my hands in people's hair, and I was a personal development trainer. There was no technology in any of that. Like, I could
Nope.
hardly even use my phone, right? So now I have to learn how to do the social media, and I'm in the process of recording a program that I'm going to put in an online platform.
Mm,
Little on networking. That's a whole other realm of speaking. People don't realize it, but it is. And just like having to record it. How do I do the slides and the recording? And like, do I really need to pay somebody to do that? Can I just do, just it's like the technology. There's so much of it.
there and
CRM.
there's yeah. And there's so much coming all the time. Like I think every single day there's a new piece of technology that's created or rethought or reimagined.
And now we have AI. Oh my God, AI, right? Like, just shoot me now.
I have a love-hate relationship with AI. There's times when I love it and times I'm like, dear Lord, I don't want to have anything to do with you right now. So,
Well, I don't use
technology.
it to write anything. I use it more for brainstorming. I would never have AI write something for me.
Yeah. I agree. I think brainstorming is it's a great tool for brainstorming. It's a great tool for giving you ideas and a place to start, but I don't think it's the thinker of humanity that everyone's trying to push it towards like this massive main brain know-it-all. Like, nope, let's not play that game. So
Right.
technology, anything else that you would, if you could share with women like that, some of the other things besides technology that kind of felt you stumped or you wish you had known when you were transitioning from, you know, employee into this entrepreneur or business owner phase?
Well, how much time do we have?
You got about 5 minutes left.
Well, I think that so marketing. Actually, I've
Okay.
been trained a lot in sales. So those sales conversations are a big. I'm in some entrepreneur groups, and that's a big challenge for people. But that's that's not really been a challenge for me. But that is something people need. They need
Right.
it. They like it or not, they need it.
Sales training is a
And,
plus. Well,
yeah,
Toastmasters, I would think you learn to sell even in within the leadership and development, you learn to sell and roll the different language for it, but that is critical. I think if you're going to become an entrepreneur, building your own business, that is a skill set for sure.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
And that's part of the speaking, right? You have to have the conviction in what you are offering to be able to speak to it confidently. But marketing, which I actually think if I had, so this is kind of a two-part answer. One is if I had known all the things that I didn't know that I needed to know ahead of time, I don't know if I would have still done this. I probably would have, but I'd rather struggle with all this than work for somebody else, right? I'm still,
Mm-hmm.
that's still my stance on all of it. But I really think that marketing and copywriting and that aspect of the sales and marketing, I actually think is very interesting. And but again, very challenging because I'm not a marketer.
It's interesting though because you do and are you are trained in an NLP,
Yeah,
which for me, going back and learning, is a lot of what copywriting is. So copywriting is understanding that neuralistic programming, what words get us to take an action, what phrasing of words to take an action. So it's interesting because when you say that, I think there's still an over like a skill set. You still have it, And it's
Mhm.
just looking at it how it shows up a little different in terms of how your marketing and your sales goes, because that is a big piece of the world of understanding marketing and why people buy.
Yeah, it's actually it is sales, but it's also psychology,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is very interesting. And also the copywriting is words, and I love words. So I think that I'm like naturally interested in that, but I haven't really done a whole lot of the actual training of it, like learning
Yeah.
it like in bits and pieces as
And I,
needed.
yeah, and I think that's part of our journey as a business owner, as a female, somebody that's owning their business, is that it is the journey. We
Yeah,
weren't gifted, like you said, you weren't gifted with the ability to speak. It can be developed and trained. Same thing as a business owner, you're being trained and developed as a business owner. You're going to have, things that set you back and things that grow forward. And that's part of your journey. That actually is what makes you unique in what you present. And when you say, where you're the red stiletto, you get to the point, that is you working with women and having that conversation. These are all things that you learn. And every client, like for me, I know every client that I bring on, I learn something from them as much as they learn something from me. I feel like it's a mutual, it becomes like a collaboration experience more so than anything.
absolutely. Actually, I've helped people write talks, writing, I do a done with you for them to write a signature talk that they can give to various places of their ideal client. And that's what a signature talk is. And I have no idea what some of them do. And I had no idea, I still am not really entirely clear. And I have no idea what, I never even heard of it before. Like
Mm.
this one guy, he does something called ITAM. I don't even remember what that stands for. And I know that he helps big companies avoid big trouble. But we wrote a whole talk, we wrote a whole talk about it. It was so interesting. I learned a lot that I don't remember. And I just finished helping somebody, she's in insurance, and we just wrote a talk together about I now need to look at certain things about my insurance because of what I learned from her, right? Just
Yep.
different things. Like a guy has a drone. Did you know that drone pilots go through they have to take the same test as an airline pilot that flies an airplane in the air? They take the same test. They just don't take the same flying test. They take the same written test.
Interesting.
Did not know that. So all kinds of different things I've helped people with. And it's kind of cool because I don't need to know anything about what they do because they tell me. I pull it out of them, I make it make sense.
I love it. I love it. So as we wrap up, because I know we are kind of getting to our time, but I love this. Donna, you and I could talk forever on just business, talking, everything else. I know we've connected over this, but you do have a gift for our audience. It's top ten tips. So kind of tell me a little bit more about that one for our audience.
Oh, so top 10 speaking tips to keep your audience hanging on to every word. So
What? You're
yeah,
giving this away?
yeah, yeah.
I'm on
It
the
must
edge of my seat just waiting for you to just so tell me a little bit more about this now. So
must be given away. So there's a lot of places you can get tips, like forget your ums and ahs, don't do that. But I say some things in there and explain why. So it's like a do's and don'ts or don'ts and do
okay.
and things that you don't normally commonly hear. And so I put all those together just from observing people and seeing what they do. I'm like, oh, that didn't work. You can't say Google it to your audience. Like that's rude. Oh yeah, very experienced
Sorry,
speaker.
shocked face over here.
Very experienced speaker. He was talking about something that maybe half the audience might not have known. And he's like, and if you don't know what that is, Google it. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Wow.
And if you can, if you want to like annoy people, two,
Right.
if you want to alienate people, and three, if you want them all to get on their phone right then.
Dang. Okay.
So yeah, like there's yes, it's things you don't commonly hear.
Okay. And I love that with that. So, ladies that are listening, like I want you to understand that she actually said a lot of things during. Did she not? Did she really say that? Right. First off, get out of your own head. She really said that. She's going to tell you to get to the point with a red stiletto. She might even stick the heel up you and kick you in the butt a little bit, which I think is awesome. Sometimes we need a kick in the pants, ladies, in the tushy to get us going. Because, and I think the other thing is when you work with a female speaker like Donna and you get the opportunity to, her background is really phenomenal. You'll get to know more about her and what she's really developed with her coaching and her speaking, because it gives her an unfair advantage in a lot of ways, and it really gives her a different perspective. And I think if you, as you're developing your speaking skills, there's a lot of a lot of coaches out there that claim they can teach you how to get on stage and speak. But I just in my relationship with who I know Donna is and the time that I met her, I would say reach out to her. If it's something that interests you on how to create your signature talk, how to put together even a presentation, to even to strengthen your own ability and your own confidence in yourself, to really design what it is that your business is. Like she can walk you through that. Her skill set is freaking phenomenal. Drop metric. All right. Grab the 10 tips, learn how to keep people on the edge of their seats because this is literally, if you're going to grow to 6 and 7 figures, these are the skill sets you're going to want to learn. Learning how to sell, learning how to speak confidently, learning your clarity, understanding your story and your messaging. These are all key elements. And women, this is why we're having women here on this podcast is because I want you to connect with these women, these extraordinary women that are here to support, help you, and evolve you. Women love to engage. When we're talking about engagement, we do it 10,000 times better than the men. And I know that's a slight exaggeration, but I truly believe it. And we're inclusive. And I think that's what we really need. And for those of you that are considering being on stage, get on stage. You have a voice. We need to hear it. So, any last words of brilliant wisdom over there, Donna, that you want to leave our audience with?
Yes, and it's coming right out of what you just said. On stage does not mean in a big auditorium with hundreds of people. If you're a new speaker, hint, nobody's going to bring you into that.
Mm,
No background, no, no credibility, no experience, no nothing. Start with networking groups. You're
mm.
going to be on the same level as they. You're in the same room, and you're going to be able to see them eyeball to eyeball. So networking groups are great, and service clubs like Kiwanis or Rotary. Those are great places to begin. And
I
they're always
love it.
looking for speakers.
This they are. That is so true. Well, I thank you so much for your time today for jumping in on our podcast. Did she really say that? I love our conversation. Listeners, give her a thumbs up, engage with the show, leave a comment, ask questions. She will definitely love to hear from you. Connect with her. All of her information is in our show notes. So you definitely want to connect with her there. And we will definitely see you all on our next episode. Donna, thank you again for your time. An absolute pleasure. And did she really say that? Yes, Donna, she did. Donna really said that to you. Listen in, ladies.